right now, Dad. He needs to have...
So I'll give you whatever you want now. I'll give you the information. But if you get a hold of her, or we get a chance, we'll tell her. Maybe she can send it to you.
Yeah, well, I gotta... What's a paper I gotta write up? It's not really that big. It's only a 6-page paper, and I already have both sides of the family, so I just need like a basic rundown of how I got to where I'm at, and how your parents came over to this country, and why they came over, for what reasons, economic, political.
Well, you want to know if they were in the mafia or not?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that'd be interesting.
Well, that was Vincent Bruno, one of my uncles. He was the big mafia man in Philadelphia. In fact, we got a picture of Vincent Bruno and my great grandfather.
Dad, didn't he own a meat packing company?
And what else you want to know?
Dad, Rob. Dad.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
Did he own a meat packing company in Philadelphia?
No, they had something to do with the Maggio cheese factory.
Cheese factory.
And that's where he ran the mafia out of?
Well, I don't know. See, I don't know about that. See, that was way before my time. See, he was. All I know is that we got a picture of him. Then I got the information before my father died. He told me that he was mixed in with the Bruno, Vincent Bruno. See, they were brothers of the big mafia then. And yeah, I was only a kid then. I didn't know that.
Right. Well, how did your parents, were they born here?
My father was born on the boat coming over.
He was born on the boat coming over?
Yeah. And my mother was born here on 12 North George Avenue.
He was coming over from Italy, or?
Yeah, he was coming over from Italy with his parents, see. And while they were coming over, he was born on a boat. On the boat or after they got off the boat.
And why were they coming over here?
To come to America.
For what reason? I mean, obviously.
Well,
were there money reasons, or like
for a new start in a new country. See, he was a barber.
Mm-hmm.
See, my father's father was a barber. See, and he had 3 sons, and they were all barbers. Around 8 and 10 Passyunk Avenue in South Philly.
Okay. And so they're coming over here to Americans here?
That's it, starting life, yeah.
They heard we were hairy over here, so they decided to come over?
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah, they came from a town called Venafro in Italy.
Did they really come from the town Venafro in Italy?
Venafro, yeah.
They really came from the town, or?
Yeah, because your uncle was there, Anthony. He was there. In fact, I got a piece of, I think I still got it, a piece out of the telephone book in Italy of how many Venafros are still left there in that town. And during the war, I was there. But there was only a little village, and only thing was still standing was a church. See? Everything was blown up. And then Anthony told me it's a big city now.
Huh.
It's just north of Naples and south of Rome.
Why did your mother? His mother was born here, right?
Yeah, my mother was born over here.
Why did her? Were her parents born here,
or? No, I don't think so. I think they come over a long time ago. He was in the bar business on Missouri Avenue there.
What was his name?
I don't know. It was Passarella. And then they had. Well, first it was the Depression days. There was no bars. It was. Then after they come back with the liquor, then he opened up a bar there.
what did he do before that?
God, I really don't know. I don't know.
So, your grandmother was born here.
Yeah.
But her parents, but your great-grandparents were born in Italy.
Yeah. Just like with my father's side, they were born in Italy, and they come over on a boat for a new lift in life. They opened up that barber shop. The first barber shop they only had one chair. And then my grandfather, he worked hard with his 3 sons, teach them that they had a 5-chair barbershop.
Okay. Do you know why your great-grandparents came over here? Why your great-grandmother?
Well, they wanted to get a new start.
Do you know what they're doing over there? Like,
No, I don't know. No. All I know, they worked hard over there, and they loved this country over here.
And where did they come to when they came here?
Where did they come to?
Yeah.
I guess in Ellis Island. That's where they come in at.
Why did they go to Philadelphia?
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Maybe they had relatives there. They had to have somebody to vouch for them to come over in this country.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get the citizenship papers. Yeah.
When did you guys meet?
When did we who? My wife?
Yeah.
Oh, I was in the service. I was in the Army in Indiantown Gap. And I went to a Christmas party. And then that's where I met my wife.
That's right. I don't remember that story now.
Yeah, she only weighed 104 pounds then.
Should I put that in the paper? My grandmother was once 104 pounds.
Now she's 145. No. Oh.
Okay, now, is Grandma there?
She's upstairs now. You want to talk to her?
Yeah, I want to get her side.
All right, wait a minute.
See how much you weigh before.
Hey, hon! Hon! Get on the phone!
Yeah, don't bring your girlfriend over when you
Hey,
No, I already told her all about this.
Hey, Archie.
I told her about that side family car. How you doing?
I'm all right. Always tired. Ask some questions, hon. Okay.
All right, well, Grandma, I'm doing a research project on the family history, and basically what I'm trying to find out is how I came to where I'm at, and I want to know about your side of the family and how they came over to the United States and for what reasons.
Well, my father came over when he come over and he got a job as a huckster. And then
A what?
A huckster, selling
Fruits and vegetables.
off of a truck. Then he decided he didn't like anybody over here, and he went back and he married my mother in Italy, Palermo, Sicily.
Tell my father Hank is going.
Sicily.
Hey, Grandpa?
Yeah.
Do you think you can hang up your phone? Because I'm trying to I'm making a tape of this so I'm trying to hear Grandma. I can't really hear her too well.
Well, I won't bite. Go ahead. Want me to hang up?
So we can hear her.
Oh,
Because I can't hear her.
All right, it's going to be hard to tell you all this on the phone. Lynn and Patty have all this because they.
Right, yeah, Grandpa told me.
Yeah, they have everything.
But maybe you could just, it's only a short paper that I'm...
Yeah, go ahead. Then what else did you want to know? He went back. He married my mother, Palermo. He came back, and he brought her back when she was, I think, 18 or 19. And he got married and brought her over and had 11 children.
Mom?
What?
There's an important point here.
What?
Wasn't that marriage arranged? They didn't know each other, did they?
No, she was going to marry another man, but then her parents arranged it. See, what happened was her mother died from childbirth, and then her father remarried, and he was a violin musician, and he had a shoemaker shop. And he remarried, and the stepmother used to treat her mean, jealous, and beating her up when he used to go out to play music, and tell him that if you tell your father, I'm going to hit you again. So she was glad to get married. That was like put together with her father and my father's people to marry her. And she didn't want to marry him, but she had to. So she married him and came to the United States with him. And she didn't even know him hardly.
Why did she have to?
Because that's the way it was in Italy. They tell you what to do and you did it. Then she was glad to get away from her stepmother on top of it. Then she came over here and she lived in hell with my father. He wasn't too great with her. She told me about it. He used to keep her in and house clean and pregnant every year and never left her go anywhere and jealous of everybody. And oh, it was terrible.
Is this over in Italy now?
No, when she came back to the United States. She didn't know anything. She didn't even speak English. He brought her back. And then she started getting her pregnant every year. She stayed in, and you know what I'm talking about? It wasn't easy for her.
So why did your father come to the United States?
You mean in the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, the very first.
Because they hear there was easy money and better living. He liked it over here as far as making a living, but he didn't like it for getting a wife. So he went back there and married my mother and brought her back, and then he stayed here and he sold bananas and huckster, you know, and oranges, and he ripened his own bananas down in our cellars on Washington Street in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
So when he came here, why did he choose to go to Harrisburg?
I don't know why he chose Harrisburg. I never found that out. Why he chose Harrisburg.
It's just where he went. Do you have any relatives there?
No, he didn't have. He never talked about his family in Italy. He had brothers and all, but I never met them. He never talked about. He did have some friends from the banana fruit company, Mike Sanson, and all that he knew before he went back to marry my mother. So he came back and settled in Harrisburg because he knew friends there that he had met.
So he went back to Italy, get your mother.
Yeah, right.
And so that's the reason your mother came over here.
Yeah, right. Harrisburg.
And that was an arranged marriage?
Yes, it was. From her father and his father. But I never heard him talk about his at all. I just found out from my sister Mary about he had a couple brothers. He never even talked about them. But he did go to Italy when we grew up once a year and stayed a month and then came back. But he never took my mother or anybody along. He went alone to visit, I guess, his brothers and all, but he never talked about it.
And how many children did they have? 8?
Who?
You.
Yeah,
How many
my
brothers and
mother had
sisters?
13 and 9 lived. And the others were miscarriages and, and other things when she was having birth, delivered. She had 3 miscarriages. And that would be 12 or 13. 12 it was, that's right. 9 lived, and the rest were miscarriages and other trouble when she was pregnant. And you know who knows more about it than I do? Mary. Because Mary was the oldest. And she told me things that I didn't even know.
Like what?
Well, different things that happened with my mother that I didn't even know about. Like about the family, about my father and all. She seemed to know more about it than I did. I don't know why. She was the oldest one, I guess.
Do you know anything about your grandparents?
The ones that,
In Italy, I assume?
no, just about her father.
Where exactly in Italy was your father and where did he get your grandmother?
Well, the same place in Palermo.
Palermo.
But I don't know. Well, it was a little city in Palermo, but I could find out the name of it.
That's
I could
fine.
find out easily. It was in Sicily, I know that. And my mother used to tell me about. My father was a shoemaker. He played the violin at night, and bands and orchestras, different places. Along with her mean stepmother. And then my mother told me they used to go down, and the country was country, and wash the clothes by on the rocks, rub them, to get them snow white and ice cold water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she used to tell me how pretty it was here in Italy. All the women used to meet down there every Monday morning, washing clothes on the rocks, and she was beautiful, though, my mother.
Yeah, I might try to go there this summer.
You should have seen her pictures of her when she was brought over. I hope I could. I don't know what happened to them. Long black hair, beautiful, my mother, beautiful. I mean beautiful. When she was young, when she married my father, beautiful. But then she had a hard life, She didn't know anybody, couldn't speak English. My father kept her pregnant and cooking and cleaning, had all those kids. Terrific mother.
Why did you go to Atlantic City from Harrisburg?
Because I met your grandfather at a Christmas party. He was stationed in Fort Dix, and I was working at the airport depot in Middletown, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to a Christmas party, and I met him, and then when he came back, I married him. And he lived here, so he said, "You want to go to Atlantic City or stay here?" I said, "I want to get away from here. This is trouble here." I was glad to get away from my father and all this. So I came here, and we settled there near his mother. We lived with his mother for about 2 years in the apartment, like one room upstairs. We used to eat down there, and he worked in the bar as a bartender until we moved in the apartment. And we lived in the apartment with 3 kids, and then we got that house down with the one that you remember, Missouri Avenue.
Yeah.
We moved down there after 3 kids because it was too tight, and then we had Thomas 7 years after Carl was born.